It's all funny, you guys think it's all funny. It's all funny until all of a sudden you sit in here and you get a corn cob up your ass. Hey, good morning, Mr. Rooster. Hey, and good morning to you guys. I'll tell you what, thanks for joining us this week. You know what, this week we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. It is that time of year, hard to believe. It is September 1st, and when September 1st rolls around, a couple things happen here in Wisconsin. It is opening day of dove season, opening day of teal season, and of course, it is opening day of early goose season. You know, it's a pretty cool thing when you think about when I was a kid. Geese never stayed around here and nested. Everything flew to the north, way up into Canada, and you didn't see them till late fall when they start migrating back south. It's a 6-bag limit, which is incredible to think about, but it's a way to kind of control the population, and it's also a great way to have a lot of fun. Hey, we're gonna be hooking up with our good friend Matt Doverstein. Now, we have not hunted with Matt in a couple years. These guys, I'll tell you what, they are avid hunters. They've been searching for fields for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And you know, there's so much competition now on this early goose season. So many people have gotten into it, which is a very cool thing, but it does create a lot of demand, and there's only so many fields. And what you're really pretty much looking for this time of year is obviously the corn's not cut, the soybeans aren't cut, but what is cut is wheat fields, and you're looking for alfalfa fields. So them 2 fields right now are gonna be the key fields. These guys, they got permission obviously, but they were still out in the field almost all night. They got out there about 11 o'clock last night, sitting on the field. So you guys, enough of my chit chat. Little Stinker, are you coming along? You don't want to come along? Oh, well. Hey, we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hang on to your hinds. Hey, you know, it's kind of cool because we got a good friend over at Badgerland Tires there in Oshkosh. And of course, they have Oshkosh, Appleton, and Shawano. Takes care of our tires all the time. But you know, this time of year, I'm always checking my tires anyways, just to make sure that I got proper air pressure in them. When it comes to a vehicle, I kind of always look at like tires on a vehicle like you would look at a roof on your house. You know what? A roof on your house and the foundation are 2 of the most important things to worry about. You know, if your roof is leaking, everything's gonna go through and it's gonna destroy everything. Hey guys, you know what? That's this week's tip of the week, brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet.
I'm assuming this is you right here,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Right, you should see, kind of even with these trucks up here, there should be a couple tire prints and like some grass you'll see.
Okay, you guys didn't have any problems this morning at all, huh?
Nope.
Hey everybody, it's opening day. Are you guys gonna get in your blinds? Right? It's time. Finally, it's here, September 1st. It's all funny, you guys think it's all funny. It's all funny until all of a sudden you sit in here and you get a corn cob up your ass.
Hey, Shotgun here. I'm in the kitchen. Got a call from Smith. I guess the problem is people out there, they shoot these animals, geese, and they don't know how to prepare them and how to make them look the best. I'm going to show you 3 awesome recipes, and they're all going to come off the same start. You can use goose, the big roast on a deer, anything like that you think is tough. The problem with everybody has with goose is, if you look at it like this, there is no fat on them. So what I do is I got water in the Nesco here, about 2 inches of water, got it boiling hot. I just got some white vinegar and some Worcestershire sauce. That's all I put in there. All I'm doing is trying to break it down. The white vinegar will break it down, and it's gonna come out like a pulled beef after it's done. And I'm gonna show you guys 3 awesome recipes. And it takes like 5 to 6 hours. So you can put this in there, go cut the grass, do whatever you want, and come back and I'll show you the consistency when it's all done. To make it a little easier, I usually take and chop mine up, put slices in it like this. And people, here's the problem with wild game too is, like these ones are all headshots, so there's not a single hole in the breast, but if you see a hole, run your finger through if there's a BB in there, because your people that you're serving do not want to have to eat a BB. That's the worst thing, or feathers or anything like that. So you can see how clean I got them. I'm gonna throw them in a Nesco right now. and it's on high, and I have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of water just so that they're covered. Hey everybody, I'm back in the kitchen. It's been almost 6 hours, and this is what you're looking for. The Nesco's got it really looking good. So I shake the juice off. You want it to come out just like that. Look at the colors on it. Oh, see what I mean? The white vinegar makes it fall apart. All my recipes today are gonna come off of these. I'm gonna start right now. The main thing why I do it this way is this stuff here. The little bit of white skin I didn't get, right there, it separates so easy that people can't digest it. So you break that apart and throw that right in the garbage. That little stuff like that, you don't want that in your food.
That's the way we like it. Oh man, got it going. Man, that's a pile of birds. Yeah, we do. Here they come, here they come. That, I just cannot get over how many birds came in here. I did not think it was going to happen.
I didn't know.
Was it something wasn't wrong with the spread, or what are you thinking?
I don't know. I think they were just seeing us right away in the morning.
And it doesn't help that there's no wind either,
No,
huh, Jack? Yeah.
They're coming in every which way.
Yeah. I mean, that was a pile of birds. I thought you said there's only a couple hundred birds coming in this field. Well, I mean, must have saw at least 400 birds already this morning. Awesome.
Hey, shotgun in the kitchen. All right, this is the first recipe. This is super easy, everybody. Once again, I showed you how to make the pulled goose. This is the consistency you want. All the stuff I got at Leroy's, the peppers, the seasoning, the cheese, the beef broth. The beef broth right now is in the pan getting hot. As soon as you throw it in there, and that hot beef or the broth, it absorbs all that moisture and it turns the super soft and juicy. This is just, that's the Italian dressing. Powder. You can throw a little bit in your beef broth. Smell that, put a little bit in here. Not much, it's pretty intense flavor. So what I'm gonna do now, mix it up, dump it into beef broth. Yeah, as long as it stays warm, it's gonna keep making it more moist. Like I say, I pulled all the white cartilage out of the bird, and I looked for BBs, there's nothing in there. Go in the store and get yourself a nice big loaf of Italian bread. The pepperoncinis are the, you can get hot, mild. I got the mild ones because the guys in the office are a little wimpy, so make sure the juice stays in the area. I'm gonna show you why. The juice adds all the flavor to the Italian part of it. There you go, everybody. Oh, look at the juice coming out. Italian goose. Don't tell me I can't make goose good. Look at that.
Yep, now take them. Now take them. Keep them. Keep. Hey, watch yourself. No, it's coming back around. I got it right here. Okay, don't lift your heads up. Nice. Woo!
You think it was, because they were going to live? Oh.
Beautiful.
This recipe, Smith and I cleaned out Midwest Shooter Supply a couple years ago. Another recipe where I'm using the pulled goose again. And I'm gonna show you guys how to make it. It's gonna be Philly, supposed to be steak, but we're gonna use goose. You guys, if you guys don't have one of these, this is the coolest little item, and it gets hot in a hurry. It's got a little butane container on the one side, and it goes I mean, I probably cook 3, 4, 5, 6 times with this thing every time I use it without having to replace the little jar. Peppers and onion go first because they take a little longer. Make them into strips. And I just found out that when you put mushrooms and peppers in it like I do, it's called the West Coast Philly, not a Philly cheesesteak. So we're changing it up, going West Coast here in Wisconsin. But like I say, guys, if you make this, have your kids or someone help. I mean, get the kids involved in it. It's cool. I mean, then they'll want to eat it more and you go out and kill more birds. And while this is sauteing up, once again, I don't stress it enough, I do, get a good hoagie bun. I mean, why waste all your time in the field, preparing, doing all this stuff, and throw it on a bad bun? And don't forget, people, mushrooms suck up a lot of moisture. You can see the nice colors they're turning already. And if you don't put green, I mean, you don't have to put green peppers, whatever, you make it yourself. Like I say, this is just the way I like it, and the way everybody else has liked it, I made for them. Now I got it all shredded up, really fine. All right, meat's going down. Put a little beef broth into you guys. Not much, just enough to make it soft. That meat's gonna suck all that beef broth right up. Good old provolone. Time for the tub of towels to enter the room. This is no lie. I can't believe how a tub of towels cleans up my refrigerator and my stove. Doesn't leave any fingerprints on, and it lasts for quite a while. And that's what you want on a Philly's cheesesteak, to be nice and gooey. Once again, you guys, this is Philly cheese goose. I mean, I don't think I have, other than the slow cooker with the goose being made, I don't know if I got 5 minutes stuck into this. West Coast Philly cheesesteak goose sandwich. That is money.
You get all that, Thomas? Holy man. Hey, Jack, you know, this is the only time that I actually get to see you for some reason, you know? And why, I always say to myself, why is everybody busting Jack's chops, right? Well, you're the guy they always pick on. So, oh, here he comes. Get. Thomas, go, quick. Right here, yep. Right there, stay, lay right down.
Hey, shotgun in the kitchen, Leroy lunchtime. This is the best one, you guys. If you're like a gyro, this is what it is. Goose gyro. This seasoning here, I can only find it at Sendix. It's the only place I can find it. You probably order it online, but that's the only place I can find it. And I got lazy. Normally I make my own tzatziki. It's just cucumber dressing and Greek yogurt and a little dill. Right now I have the beef broth warming up in here, and I'm going to show you guys once again. Same thing, bring the beef broth to a boil. So meanwhile, I'm going to cut up my onions, add the meat, and here goes the Greek seasoning. This is huge right here. See the color of the meat now? And there's other ways you can do goose too. I mean, I've done goose the same as this with the beef broth, made mashed potatoes, and put the beef broth and goose over the top of mashed potatoes. I mean, there's so much you can do with it. Don't throw them away, people. I mean, you just got to prep them right, and it's a huge part of anything you cook and kill and, you know, clean, and take the time out and do it the right way. All right, it's prep time, you guys. The pita is nice and hot. Don't goof around. Put a little bit of tzatziki right down the middle. Break out the goose. And it's like, say, if you make it on a Sunday or whatever with the kids, have them help you out, man. It's anytime they do stuff, or the wife, I mean, you help you do it, and yeah, a little more on top, dill on top, tomatoes, and feta cheese. Goose, gyro, Larry Smith Outdoors, Leroy lunchtime. Game buster right there. Ideas I just gave you are stuff that I've done on the show for recipes, but if you want to really do something, like right now I have 32 pounds in at Leroy's in Horicon. They're making me Goose prime rib burgers. I've had them made last year. I was the only one that had them, and I had them on the river in Fort Atkinson. I had people try them out. I made quarter sandwiches. Oh my God, it's phenomenal. And they make everything there. There's sausage out of goose and stuff like that. They're about the only person I know that does still do stuff with geese is Leroy Meats. And they bend over backwards. I mean, it might not get done right away, but they take your order and it comes out exactly the way you want it. And that's the main thing.
You know, the key is always to pick up your mess. You know, there's nothing worse than letting somebody come into your fields and hunt the fields and then leave a mess. It's no different than, you know, coming onto your land and fishing or doing anything else. It's such an easy thing. You bring in something, you take it back out. It's amazing, these guys, the amount of time that they spend just searching for fields to hunt. You know, and there's so much competition now out there that you got to do something a little bit different than everybody else is doing. And a lot of times it's just being respectful and being nice. And if somebody says no, you just leave it at that. You know, the other scenario is sometimes you get multiple groups that want to hunt a field. And that's how friendships are formed too. And hunters should never really fight against each other. You know, there's not enough of us out there. And enjoy the resources. You know, the early season is basically designed to try to trim some of these birds down. You know, years ago, the Canadian geese never stayed here and nested. They all flew way to the north. When I was a kid, it was such a rarity. And it's an interesting thing today. Years ago, if you got lucky, you got 1 or 2 or 3 tags that you could hunt in the Horicon zone. And that's all the geese you could shoot a year, right? Now we have good limits on them because we've got plenty of birds, you know, so there's a lot more opportunities. So, you know, the cool part is it gets more people involved in it. You know, it's hard to like invest thousands and thousands of dollars like these guys have in trailers and decoys and fuel and shells and just taking time off of work to go and do it. Hey Matt, you're the spokesperson for the group for some reason. Every year we get to hunt with you, and last year we didn't get to hunt with you guys, and I really missed it. You know, it's one of them kind of things like I was talking about earlier. It's really not about how many birds you killed. It's really about just the fun and all the stories in the blind and really giving Jack a hard time too is what I love. You know, as soon as it opened, you know, you guys were expecting these birds to come off of some ponds a little bit to the south of us, and actually they kind of surprised us and came from the north and came over the woods, and we did not see them in time until they were right on top of us. So, you know, that was one mistake that we might have made, you know, but, you know, who cares? You know what? We killed a pile of them. We had a lot of fun. But, you know, I was talking about this is that you guys, like people that are seeing this, they don't really get to see the behind the scenes deal, you know? And you guys, as far as how many times do you go to a farm now and they tell you no?
More often than not. Usually
okay.
We get a lot of no's. Either they've got, you know, people that have hunted it for years or family, or some people just don't allow people to hunt, which more power to you. That's all right with us. But you got to pay your due diligence and go ask everybody. Yeah,
you do. And that's the whole thing, you know, putting the effort into it. You're putting hundreds of miles on your trucks, all you guys scouting all this area. We're, you know, from your home turf, you know, you're a good, you know, hour away, a little bit more than that. So, I mean, there's a lot of birds a lot closer, but, you know, it just didn't pan out today to try to get one of them fields. So when you do get a field, you really appreciate the kindness of the landowner, and you definitely want them to have the most respect of it. Don't tear up the fields with your trucks, trailers, you know. I mean, so you guys have been doing this a long time. There's a lot of different scenarios.
Yep. You know, ask to drive in. Don't just assume that you can drive in. There's a lot of farmers that just don't allow anyone to hunt because people have driven over their replanted crops, and you ruin the fun for everybody. don't be that guy.
Hey everybody, we always appreciate you guys watching our show each and every week. You know, we feel so special to be able to bring this to you guys. You know, we're nobody special, at least I'm nobody special. Some of these guys are very special, right? But you know what? We also want to thank all of our military men and women for the great service they have given this country and continue to give this country. Without them, no doubt we would not be able to do the things we do, along with all of our firefighters, paramedics, and of course, all of our law enforcement agents. Hey, it is a great day to be alive, and the best part is we're going to see you guys and gals again next week, and thanks for joining us. And thank all you guys.
Hey, we got a lot going on at Larry Smith Outdoors that you don't see. And if you want to see more of that behind the scenes stuff and today's recipes, make sure you check us out on YouTube. And if you have any questions for us or our sponsors, follow us on social media.
Thank God you're not a fishing guy / TV host or pretend TV host.
I never knew that goose could taste so good.
I never knew that goose could taste so good.
I never knew that goose could taste so good.
I never knew that goose could taste so good. I never knew that goose could taste so good.
What's the deal with goose? It never tastes good. Nobody ever cooks it good. I mean, what's the deal? Why does goose never taste so good? Nobody's doing anything about the bad goose. We've got this bad goose that nobody's doing anything about. And Shotgun's taking the goose and he's making it taste good. Shotgun, he's a very good friend of mine.